Spirituality in a modern day society. What is it to be called to preach? And what about the modern day ministry right now? Is that a good thing, or is that something that is made up, or something that's a distraction? Because I saw programs, but it wasn't like the Christmas programs I grew up watching. It was like the club. So I don't too much listen to that new age preaching, because they'll cause you to lose your soul if you're not careful. I mean, mentorship is very important. Having the right person at the right time in somebody's life could either make it better or make their life worse. But the problem is there's a lot of people out there who will help you make your life worse. The thing is, how many people out there will help you get on your feet? And mentorship is very important. We would go to like 5 schools a day, 5 days a week, not to mention the after school programs, aiming high, junior and senior, Kids Express, those groups that met after school and our after school programs. This wasn't summer programs, even though the programs were in the summer also. This was during the winter time. This was like all year long. We had these programs, and I'm talking about 20 to 30 kids each program. So, and I can't mention Warren Umadop or mention those programs without mentioning Lee Pollard, who is also my cousin, but who was also instrumental in, me starting a path on leadership development. If there wasn't a Beverly Pollard, there definitely wouldn't be a Will Harris. Between Miss Pollard and Reverend Odom, they both saw something in me that they gave me an opportunity, and I took the opportunity. That's the other part, that part. Yeah, because once somebody gives you an opportunity, it's your responsibility that you take that opportunity and you make something out of it and you do something with it. So those of you who are out there who are doing things for people, those of you who are out there who are mentors, and you feel like sometimes the people who you're mentoring still get in trouble. Sometimes it seems like the people you're still mentoring are falling to the wayside. Just understand that no good deed goes unpunished, but at the same time, you're planting seeds. And you might not see the fruits of your labor right then, but you need to have people who have an alternative. And that's what's missing today in today's society. We grew up in the church. Which meant you had to go. But see, the thing is, we complained the entire time as kids. When Sunday came up, we're like, oh man, we got to go to Sunday school. Why don't we just go to regular church? Had to go to Bible study. Had to go to choir rehearsal. We had Cub Scouts. This church is Second Baptist Church in Warren, Ohio. That's the church I grew up in, was Second Baptist Church. And that's a great church. And not just that, if you're talking about Ohio, but particularly Warren, Ohio, you're talking about a community of a bunch of great people. I mean, I'm talking about, if you talk about it takes a village to raise a child, Warren, Ohio could have been in a dictionary for it takes a village to raise a child, because that's exactly what my life was. And that's the type of community I grew up in, which meant that if you was on another street and you were getting into a fight or somebody overheard you cussing, they would straighten you out. I mean, I remember growing up, people grabbing you by your arm and shaking you. You better act like you got some sense. I remember people sticking their finger in your face and you was respectful. It could be the mailman, anybody in the community. That's the kind of communities we grew up in. And that's the kind of community I was raised in. So that even though I made some mistakes, even though I ended up going to prison for drug trafficking. Yeah, I tried my hand trying to make some quick, fast money, and I thought I was going to be successful. I thought I was going to have me a house with a white picket fence, and it didn't work out like that. I went to prison, But see, the thing about going to prison is, like the Bible says, you raise a child in the way they should go, and then they won't depart from that. Because when I went to prison, what do you think I fell back on? My spirituality. Because I had those experiences, and even though I was upset and I didn't want to go and I complained, when I found myself at my lowest point, I had something to fall back on. Because you are not going to always be there for your kids, and you have to give them something greater than you for them to fall back on. So when I went to prison, I was in my Bible, and being in that Bible kept me from committing another case that probably would have kept me in there longer. See, that's why you need that spirituality, because some people, they're doing life on their own by themselves because they probably weren't brought up in the church. Some people, the only time they go to church is when it's Christmas, when it's Easter, so they can show off their clothes, or they go into a funeral or a wedding. So having a spiritual foundation is one of the best things you can give a young person, because you're not going to always be there and you're not going to always have all of the answers. I think that we need to get back to, it takes a village to raise a child, and we're not there no more. We got too many celebrities that are influencing and raising our children. Does anybody out there remember when it was not popular to be like everybody else? Everybody wears Jordans or Air Force Ones. Take your pick. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to go to Dubai. I mean, it's all about trends and following trends. When I was growing up, you never followed trends. How did they trick us into following trends and wanting trends? There's a number of things as far as old school and new school that doesn't click. And the thing about it is that as a society, they say it takes a village to raise a child. Okay, what do you do when the village is sick? But I want to encourage Reverend Odom because, you know, I post a lot of his videos there at church because they're that motivational. So if you ever get a chance and, you know, you want to, you know, peek in on my brother, he's with Friendship Baptist Church there in Warren, Ohio. They're doing some really great things. He's been doing great things for years. That'll never stop. That's just part of him. That's baked in with Reverend Odom. He's just a good person and a good man and a good friend of mine. So understand I got my one-on-one coaching program also, which is really doing really good. I have like maybe 2 or 3 slots available. So those of you who might want one-on-one coaching, contact me, message me, and that's something I can make happen also. Those of y'all, I love you. You know, have a good, prosperous day today. I get a day off, man. I haven't had a day off in a week and a half. Y'all have a good, prosperous day. Like I said, I love you. Thank you for supporting my page. Thank you for viewing and listening to my topics and my videos. More videos coming and everything. So, mad respect. Peace.